Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to some Wolf of Wallachia in Victoria 3. Let's do our little good luck charm here. Hello, me. Charm here. Hello, me. Right back at you, buddy. All right, we are back. We are back after a wild previous episode. When Tuesday, or what was it, Tuesday night? Tuesday night was kind of a wild episode for this run. So to recap what happened, the original plan for that night was we were going to go to war for southern Serbia from the Ottomans so that we can get iron to give us a better chance to go to war with Austria. We declared for southern Serbia. We started a diplo play to get southern Serbia. And it turns out Austria joined the war. And so I got a little too greedy and just pretty much went for all the states from Austria I could. Went super, super infamous. The whole world, the whole world turned against me. And we ended up fighting a war against the Ottomans, Austria, Prussia, the United States, France, and India. And it was just us and the British. And then in the end, Russia gave military access to Prussia, and we somehow, with the help of everybody involved, we somehow won. So we are getting closer and closer to our achievement, the Romania achievement here as a Romanian nation, form Romania, and directly own all Romanian homeland states. So unfortunately, we still have one more state to get from Austria because I ran out of maneuver points. So we got to get Banat from Austria, and we still have to get Bessarabia from Russia. So once we get those two states, we will get our achievement. We did have to declare bankruptcy at the end of the war. I probably could have, had we gotten these two states, I probably would have just slowly crawled out of bankruptcy. We could have done that. But the fact that it's 1903 and we still got to get two more states, it was better to just declare bankruptcy and start letting the 9-year thing go down. Hey, LaPlace, hello. To be fair, you have half of the world as your allies. No, I only have one. Oh, half of the world, I get it. This is true. This is true. When you're allied with the British, you pretty much got half of the world as your allies. Yeah, although I have to say, actually, I was going to say the Cape Colony didn't do much, but they actually did end up sending some soldiers. Yeah, wow, that's a big one. That was a big one. The whole time I was like, there's no way we're doing this. There's no way we're doing this. And we did it. Pretty much the entire episode, pretty much the entirety of episode 8 is that war. It was nuts. Getting piggybacked by Great Britain. Yeah, that kind of helped. Oh, yeah. Hello. Hey, Ham. Hope you're doing well. Look at that. Romania was so hyped watching the recording. Yes, thank you. Oh, my God. It was stressful. I have to say, war stresses me out at this game. Maybe that's why I'm so conservative when it comes to and hesitant to start wars. But we did it. We just need 2 more states now. So we do have to, so we got to wait 9 years here before we really can do anything else. All of this is going to scale down over those 9 years, but we're still losing offense and defense. But it does give us time to recover and become even stronger. So 1912, we can go for those final 2. Can't wait you playing Suzerain after this run. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get that on Steam and start trying it out. I'm currently still trying to learn Age of Wonders 4 for tomorrow night's stream. Oh, what am I doing? I gotta silence everything. Okay, so let's talk about what we're doing now. Hey, Stephen Stephen, hello. Please tell me you are not still in Iron Frame, wasting 40% of your money you pay into construction. No. We are, well, actually, let me double check. Yeah, we're back at steel frame buildings. Now, yeah, we had switched at one point to iron frame buildings to save money because we were in default And we needed to get out of default because we were losing army offense defense with each tick of every day. But now we declared bankruptcy. We're getting back. And so we're back on steel frame buildings. Yeah. We were talking about this the other stream, looking for some new games to add in. I might try out Suzerain. We will see. I've never played it before. Seen it on Steam quite a bit. We will see. You need to do a blind playthrough. Blind playthroughs make me nervous. I have Hearts of Iron 4. I got it on a Paradox sale recently, but just haven't had time to learn it. And my wife was like, why don't you just learn it on stream? Why don't you just play? So basically, without using the terminology, she was like, just do a blind playthrough. And I was like, I don't know. That's stressful. Can't wait for the Age of Wonders 4 stream. The third was good, but haven't seen much of the fourth. Nice. Yeah, that one will be not fully blind, but we'll say like legally blind. How do you put chat on screen? Oh, I do it. So I use Streamlabs for my streaming software. And under the sources, you add in what they call a chat box. And then you can, it's just like any other input. And Streamlabs will put the chat on the screen. Is the real suzerain experience... Oh, it's the real suzerain experience when you fail to get into debt and gets cool while everyone hates you in Kokami. Kind of like this game, right? Kind of like this game. All right, so what are we doing here? So we gotta stay out of debt. So we got a 15% interest rate. If we do go into debt, we'll lean into the petite bourgeoisie here. We are currently 46K in debt. Which isn't so bad. Let's build everything back up. So we're building in northern Transylvania. Yeah, so we got a lot of turmoil and stuff. We could probably use some violent suppression, though we really do need these taxes. So we could lean into... Yeah, that'll give us bureaucracy. Damn. If we had, we had the church back. I don't want to switch that. I don't want to switch that. Well, we'll think about that later, because we get a little bit more authority from them. We could look to switch some laws. We're on censorship. National Guard is giving us a lot of conscripts. Yeah, none of those will do it. Update on my country. The protests already were down, and the people have put the demand. We try to avoid martial law. Wait, is this in this is in Suzerain, right? Or are you talking about Vicky 3? Yeah, there's not really any laws I can think of that we want to go to that will give us any more authority. Go outlaw dissent. Once we research political agitation, but I don't know if we want to do that. I mean, probably our best bet is to just fix our income here and be able to get rid of one of these. All right, so we're building up motors because motors we need. Yeah, we need some of that. Oh, well, hold on. It turns out we are exporting a ton. Now, we're probably making a ton of money on that. Yeah, they're making 10K on that one. Now, we are on free trade. This is true. So, we're making a lot of money. It's probably best... we build. Although, oh yeah, this, no, no, no. This is going to take forever. We could, oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the Indonesia protests, right. Yesterday, I'm quite proud we fight for our right and democracy. Thank God the military is quite neutral in some provinces. Oh, yes. Oh my God. Um, well, that's good. Yeah, a neutral military. There are already two factions in military. Man, and it has been going for some time now, huh? Quite some time. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing here. It's really gonna give us. I don't. There's nothing here. Although we really could use this. What are we getting tech spread on? We're getting tech spread on that. Yeah, we should really aim to get to Trenchworks Wargaming. We're gonna need that one next. Actually, no. Let's go Floating Harbor next. And then we want French Works and... So there doesn't look like there's going to be any tech that's going to give us some extra authority. Hey, Maximilian, we got 30 years to take over Banat and Bessarabia. Yep. Got about 30 years to do it. 33 to be exact. So right now I'm just thinking about we could use some more authority. I think, see, the problem too is we need to put some violent suppression because we can't continue with this level of construction inefficiency. We could use, no, we're already getting, oh, that's right, we don't get a benefit from them. We'll just get a penalty if they're bad. So we could get another 7% if we get more here. No in the society tree. Nothing that just is an outright addition for us. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. So political agitation. There we go. Problem is we are pretty far away from that right now. We're pretty far away from that right now. I kind of want something that's going to be a little more immediate. So we do need to start building in these new states. We do have that one. We have mass conscription. I suppose we could get off presidential republic. Go back to monarchy. I don't know so much about that though. We could go single party state. See, that's the thing. Political agitation would really help me right now. Maybe we do go for political agitation first. We're not going to war for some time. I think we might just go for that. And we're going to get tech spread on this other stuff. We'll have these two done. We're getting tech spread on pan-nationalism. Oh, yeah. So in the time it takes us to get to this, we'll probably get tech spread on camera. And then we won't get an ahead of time penalty. But that still doesn't help us in the immediate right now. So this will give us a little bit more there. We could go high taxes temporarily. And then get rid of luxury clothes. We're going to suffer... we got a lot of radicals as it is, though. This... Well, okay, so for right now, though... Yeah, and that did a whole lot of... We still have 80%. Can you change your president? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good idea, right? What is this guy doing for us? 5% authority. So who do we have? When is the next election? 3 years. We're not getting that guy in. Yeah, we're getting a little bit from this guy. Problem is, we're going high taxes, and we're still not really doing... yeah, we're not really doing much. Road maintenance, the 10%, going from 90% construction inefficiency to 80, honestly isn't worth it. Not until it actually makes a difference. So... we will continue with this for now. And I think maybe... yeah, I don't think we can build in these places. Well, here we go. Okay, this is what we'll do. Yeah, we'll go with the government admin first. This will give us a little bit of budget surplus. And then we can maybe go for that. What is your police situation? We are on dedicated police force. Yeah, the radicals are from conquered land. This is true. Yeah, maybe we could... yeah, we should up the... if we can. Yeah, for the time being, we really need to up the law enforcement. Yeah. That will really help. We probably don't even have the time to go that far, but it will go as fast as it needs to go. Political movements are funny. I have a liberal party with P. Bourgeoisie and intelligentsia in my run right now. Yeah, I do find sometimes those two kind of group together, right? All right, well, let's unpause. We'll go for these government admins, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, turmoil here. Now, our level of infamy is also part of it, plus 50% radicals from conquest. So it might be we don't build in these places until the radicals come down. It really doesn't make sense right now. But we have plenty... oh, we had plenty. Alright, so we have some people in Moldavia here that we can do. Bro, I have industrial and rural folk in free trade party. The rural folk in the free trade party. Because I have intelligentsia as the ruling cabinet. let's see what's going on here. Why are we having these problems? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. So coal is a little expensive for them here. We don't have coal there. What is it in our market? So not great. Can we increase coal? We could do this. But I have a feeling explosives are not great right now either. Oh no, we have quite a bit. It's going to hurt the productivity here, but we would rather have the steel mill going. There we go. Find states with peasants and unemployed there. But the old states are filled, to be fair. Yeah. They kind of are. We have a little bit. Well, we have a lot of unemployed, too, in Moldavia. So we can... oh, wait. I forgot. I am paused, but we didn't put anything in the build queue. So let's build here in Moldavia. Honestly, I would prefer a better thing here. So what could we really use? Oh, wait, no. You know, automobiles. Yeah, we're importing them because we can't build them yet. And we have so much to research before we can get to it. So, what should we prioritize? I think here's good. Yeah, honestly, it's oh, well, we also have an infrastructure problem. Okay. Ooh. All right, yeah, we need to start utilizing some railroad PMs here. We are. Let's utilize it here. Oh, we could utilize... Oh, no, that was a special one there, yeah. What'll that put these guys at? Oh, wait. I keep on pausing, but I need to fix this construction queue before we completely drain our investment pool. What are the costs of... Oh, that's right. We don't have any more construction sectors here. How are they here? Oh, and I forgot. Yeah, we have... Cost $1 million. The wine can also use it. Yeah. Yeah, we got some of the wine in there. It's not the coal, it's because you only have 110 machinists because half the people are illiterate. Yeah, we're working on that. All right, we're going to come back to these regional HQs here. Yeah, because they are taking a lot of our stuff. Actually, I think we might take this. We'll come back to it. I don't want to go into debt just yet. All right. I was going to look at how are we on. We need glass. And we need explosives. This is true. We need explosives. So let's work on that here. Let's build a couple of those. We'll build some glassworks here. All right, so this will get them going. Now this is a problem that we need to fix. And it's these regional HQs that are killing me. Oh, hello. Is there anything we want to do with that? There is. And more war. Requesting our support in the ongoing diplomatic play against Canada. What is this? Reduce autonomy. Oh, Canada's making an independent movement. Or an independence play. Well, we're gonna honor this. Are we gonna send anything? I mean, we'll send some of our ships. Oh wait. Who is... I should have looked actually before I said yes. We might backtrack on that. Oh God, Great Britain, we can't afford to do this. Do we say no? It'll disband the allyship. You know what we're going to do, actually? Yeah, we'll keep going. And if nobody creates any war goals against us, I think we're just going to capitulate. We can probably defend the homeland here. Do they still have that military access agreement? They don't. God, you're killing me, Great Britain. If you nationalize every building in the regional HQ, does it go away? I never had this problem as I don't give investment rights usually. It does, yeah. I rarely ever give investment rights. There's only some unique situations here that I did. But, yeah, I have tested this out before. If you nationalize all the buildings in it, then the regional HQ goes away. And if they don't have the investment rights anymore, they can't create it again. And I believe... Oh, great, yeah, Great Britain still has it, though. But there are other companies that are not British. Great Britain helped you in your time of need. Romanian people would not go back on their ally like this now, when they are in their hour of need. This is true. This is true. I guess if there are no war goals against us, we can afford to stay in the war for some time. We can send ships. Like, we could go start blockading, so their market capital here, so we'd probably go there to blockade them. So we'll send these guys over here. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't think people understand how investment rights work. What do you mean? It does look like Great Britain is Hitler this timeline, though. Everybody hates them so hard. Yeah, I know. They've been starting trouble all over. It's pretty much them against the world, and we're allied with them. The development of more stable explosives has led to an uptick in demand for explosive materials. Our military and industrial sectors have entered a bidding war to secure shares of our production. I actually could use that. Ooh, yeah. For 5 years, the explosive plants. Yeah, Maximilian, what do you mean? What are we not understanding about investment rights? So here's a sneaky way to get the intelligentsia really strong. Exports on merchant marines and fine art employs a ton of bureaucrats and academics. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew that about fine art. That's an interesting idea, though, with merchant marines. Who gets employed by the ports here? Why would the merchant marines help the intelligentsia? Oh, yeah, I guess bureaucrats. If you're bureaucrats are intelligentsia. Investment rights grow your GDP. When you grow your GDP, you have more money to spend through taxes. You shouldn't nationalize unless you go communist. So this is true. Yeah, this is always the counter argument to investment rights. They grow your GDP because they'll build buildings in your country, right? So this is true. And it is a play style if you're starting out as a small nation. But it also, now with the 1.9 update, with the 1.9 update and this implementation of regional HQs, you get situations like this, where it starts to drain your investment pool. Regional HQs drain your investment pool. And when your investment pool drains, it's just a slow march to a economic death spiral. Because once the investment pool can no longer build, then you take on the full cost of the construction sector. You can't build anymore, and then you start going into debt. The other problem is, even without the regional HQs, the let's take a look at one. Yeah. So this Glassworks, let's say they owned 18 levels of it, they're sending 5.85K of dividends back to the financial districts in Ulster, which means their capitalists are getting rich. So in our country, the only people making money on this building are the people employed, and so they're getting wages, which isn't bad, but you're going to find over the long run, your industrialists, it'll be hard for them to build political clout, which will give basically more power to other interest groups, maybe somebody like the landowners. So it'll grow your GDP, but the interest groups that have power are going to be all out of whack. I suppose your trade unions would get a lot of power, but I think the possibility of regional HQs in your country is really detrimental. I think before 1.9, it probably was fine, but now that they can build all these regional HQs, it's very, very harmful. So like this one here is using our investment pool to build these buildings, with all of their profits and reinvestment going back to India. So I don't think it's beneficial. I understand how it works. I just don't. I think in the long run, it's a short-term gain for a long-term loss. You get the short-term gain of a higher GDP, but over the long run, you end up getting a very big loss. At least that's how I feel. Wait, we can re-roll this, follow through a bit with this costly war, and then after break the alliance as the people turn to the Romanian American Fellowship, then slowly attempt to make an alliance with the Americans as they are more reasonable. Wait, we can... Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. We can role play this. Follow through a bit with this costly war, and then after it, break the alliance as the people turn to the Romanian American Fellowship. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah, if we break the alliance... Yeah, role play. Yeah, I read that wrong. Role play. Um, yeah, they do not like Britain. And I believe, too, the United States is the strongest military. Oh, no, now they aren't. Role play. Yeah. Yeah, I wish YouTube did not have this delay. See, that's the thing, though. Who would be the better ally when we eventually go to war with Russia and Austria? What is America's feeling towards them? So they don't like Austria. But Great Britain hates Russia and Austria. Right now, Great Britain hates everybody. 82% of the Romanian people want it. This is, oh yeah, this is true, right? Yeah, look at this. This is true. That's a great point. It's what the people want. Yeah, and interesting we don't have a pro-Britain lobby. Hey, John. Hello. Will you once again become a monarchy, please? I mean, to be honest, we could actually use a little bit more authority with the monarchy, but I don't think the people in our country want that. Yeah, Great Britain hates everybody. Although this would make the petite bourgeoisie much happier. And to be quite honest, I could use the extra society research speed and the migration attraction. Does the US have any allies? No. I'll repost. Watch One Proud Bavarian's video on the investment rights and regional headquarters. He analyzed the save of a player who wasn't giving investment rights away. He started giving investment. Yeah, I'll watch. I'll definitely watch that. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, there are advantages and arguments to be made for giving away investment rights. But let's put it this way. Why do all the great powers never want to give you investment rights in their country? See, I think investment rights is something I would give away if, let's say I were playing as like a great power. So I was like Russia, France, Great Britain, the United States. I'll give investment rights away in that situation because I have such a large economy. One or two regional HQs here and there isn't going to really hurt my economy, right? But when right now we're Romania, we're still a pretty small economy. And look at how many regional HQs we have here now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 there. Do we have any more? Oh, actually, here. No, what am I doing? Just look at the buildings list. Yeah, look at this. And all of these building levels they own. For an economy of our size, this is too much. This is way too much. They own a total of 37, let's see, 126, 150, 187 levels of buildings in our country that are all sending profits elsewhere and in reinvestment elsewhere. Will you please establish a colonial administration? I mean, we'll look to. We're colonizing. If the option becomes available, we will. But we gotta... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. We don't have access there. You know, we might look to... Oh, no, I don't want to make an agreement to get rid of it, though. We have got a lot going on here. Yeah, we have to... Okay, we have to fix that. Yeah, because he was trying to GDP max for an achievement game playset as USA, a country with infinite population. Yeah, as any smaller nation like Romania, it would give you a poverty spiral, just like he said. You don't have the arable land as USA and the infinite migration. Yeah, so that's why, yeah, if you were like a great power, and like the ones I mentioned, have tons of pops, tons of migration, but someone like us, it's a little more detrimental. This is what people do wrong. Your economy is your GDP. It benefits your economy, period. Your budget isn't your economy. It's your fiscal expenditure. Oh my god, those forgotten poor people in Transvaal. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, well, but your budget is a direct reflection of your GDP. Because no matter what, your taxes and your minting are always going to be the biggest things that you get income on. And your minting is directly related to your GDP. So yes, as your GDP grows, your budget grows. But you also have to look at who is going to hold power with the wealth in your country. So if all of your industrial buildings get owned by foreign owners, your industrialists will have no power. You're going to find your landowners start to increase in power because most of the regional HQs are going to be companies, and unless it's an agriculture company, which most of them usually are not, like, yeah, the EIC is agriculture, but well, okay, maybe the vodka company. But you see here, like, we have levels of steel mills being owned, stuff like that. This is going to cause the laws that you have to change. And also, you're not going to end up getting onto better tax laws, because not only will they oppose it, but you're not going to be able to start taxing, like, industrialists and stuff like that on their wealth. Now, as for the budget, it still grows because you get more taxes the bigger the economy goes. More minting, more debt ceiling, because you have more buildings and so on. But you don't get more taxes, though. That's the problem. You get more minting, so the budget grows, but... So, a 15% dividends tax rate, but you're not going to get anything from this. You're not going to have any dividends. Like, this is if you're just, like, fully go in on investment rights, right? Because eventually, the larger power that has more money is going to buy up everything in your country. And then graduated taxation, 25% dividends tax rate, you have no dividends in your country because everything is foreign owned. Except when you run out of pops, no matter how much you want this to be right, because you saw it in the YouTube video, you have to, yeah, well, no, yeah, but when you run out of pops, it's true, like, it becomes a bigger problem. Oil companies operating in Moldavia are requesting government assistance in funding a pipeline, promising that its construction will be accompanied by other infrastructure improvements. Now, I think one way that you could use investment rights to your benefit, if you were a small country, is at the beginning of the run, you can give some investment rights away, let them build up your country, and you use the additional budget to invest in your military, build up your military. But then at some point, you get rid of those investment rights and you retake control of your buildings. So I don't think investment rights is a long-term strategy. It's not something you can sit on and become rich. You're never going to become rich if somebody else owns your economy. Also, you skipped the comment where I said that I agree that small countries might need the extra investment pool, but it's not good not to give investment rights as China, for example. Sure, maybe it's China, right? But again, the play for investment rights is to eventually take control of those buildings back. So it's not really a long-term strategy. It's a short-term strategy to grow your economy and then eventually take control of your economy back. You can't play a whole game by giving away all of your buildings. Just because you would hit your GDP max faster does not mean you would be better off for it. Pot migration is limited for you. I am advising him to watch a video that explains it. And according to the fact that I have roughly 12 GDP per capita by the end game. Dividends tax still taxes foreign-owned companies. Well, let's take a look. Okay. So, yeah, I make a correction there. Okay, yeah, so you do get dividend tax off of it. But again, what about the issue of having no industrialist political clout? Because they won't own anything. They won't own industrial buildings. He's not Ching, he's Romania. Why are you switching up your argument now? Let's keep it civil. You keep saying I am wrong without having any arguments. I didn't appeal to authority. I advise him to watch a video because he always struggles with his GDP per capita and Seoul compared. Well, hold on. I don't always struggle with my GDP per capita. Our last run as Morocco, we started off with like 100k GDP and I think finished with like 120 or something like that. That's a massive GDP growth for a small country. So I don't struggle with GDP growth. It's like that person that came into our Morocco stream when I was at, I think, like 80 million GDP and was like, oh, that's a really bad GDP. Well, if you're comparing it to runs where you only play as the great powers, then sure. But I started as Morocco in that run and ended with like, I think like, what did I say? I think it was like 100, 200 million GDP or something like that. All right, hold on. I'm missing something here. Yeah. So Prussia wants to naval invade us. What are they sending? All right, so let's just activate the National Guard here. We'll keep you guys right here. We'll keep you there. All of this discussion of economy, and I just queued up 20 pages of construction. And pray the red budget bar stops filling up by the time I reach the end of the queue. Really making me consider my gameplay. Yeah, I mean there are advantages to foreign investment, but ultimately you have to, it is a short-term, to me it is a short-term strategy that needs to end with you retaking the buildings in your country. You could leave some, but no matter what, I don't think there is an argument to be made to have a regional HQ in your country. Regional HQs in your country hurt your country, no matter what. I suppose the only argument you could really make for a regional HQ in your country is if they produce a prestige good. They'll produce the prestige good in your country. So that is a benefit. But I don't think that's a big enough benefit to have a building in your country that's going to use your investment pool to build building levels and then send the profits and the reinvestment from those buildings out of your country. I mean, look, we have all of these regional HQs now in our country, and our investment pool is in trouble. Hell, if you play Speed 3, as you argue in micromanaged treaties, which I don't, you can let British build you up and then export everything to any country that needs it, creating an export economy. I suppose so. But again, so here, okay, but here's the other problem though, right? Like, so that's true. You could do that. But again, all of this is so that you have another country build up your building levels, right? But you can build your own buildings. You still, no matter what, you're going to have your own construction sectors, your own investment pool. There's no reason why with any country you can't build up your own economy. Like, you don't need another country to build your economy. It's in trouble because we're losing 20K a week. This investment pool was at 40 million before this decline started. We are in trouble. We need to fix this. And this is mainly because construction costs are a little high right now, but also mainly because a ton of our buildings, look, how many did we say in what did I end up saying? Like 150. We have 150 building levels that are not contributing to this investment pool. That's not good. It makes you a much richer nation with a huge GDP, a great soul, an export economy that slowly becomes a consumer economy, and a huge profit from minting and taxes. But you're not going to have an investment pool. If everything is foreign owned, eventually it will be owned by a regional HQ. Will you go back to war with Austria? Yeah, we're going to have to. We want the achievement, so we need to take this state off of Austria and this state off of Bessarabia, but we want to get out of bankruptcy before we do that. Once again, you're not USA or China with infinite people to turn into a consumer economy with no penalty. You are Romania. Yeah, like, at some point, not right now, but eventually, we need to take ownership of these buildings. We cannot afford to have all of these things sending reinvestment money out. It's better to have 120 million economy with 50% ownership than a 60 million economy with 100% ownership. But again, if you're going to decimate your investment pool. This is the economic death spiral. You're going to decimate your investment pool because all your reinvestment is going to be sent out. Once your investment pool runs dry, your private queue stops building. Once your private queue stops building, you incur the full cost of your construction sectors, which you won't be able to afford. So you either just continue to go into debt or you pause your construction. So you're going to be building even slower while the other country continues to build in your country. You're going to get to a point where you can't even build anymore in your country because the minute you turn on your construction queue, you're going to debt spiral. And again, all of this is to have somebody else build your buildings when you can very much build your buildings too. Peter Olson, hey, hello, good afternoon. Welcome in. Oh, hold on. We are about to get hit by some ads. So we are going to take a very quick break, minute and a half, and then we will be right back so that no one misses anything from ads. All right, and we're back. We're back. We're back. Let's see what I miss here. Let's see. I already addressed before. You can play infinitely with investment rights on as the U.S. or the Qing. With Romania, it's arguable. See, I still wouldn't say, though, you can do it indefinitely, even with the U.S. or Qing. I think that's a dangerous game. You should reduce the number of construction centers. Yeah, I mean, I think we're mainly... This is largely because of military goods, because we have an army activated. And we do need to tackle this. Also, yeah, the radicals in our new states, but that's slowly ticking down. So I think our budget will start to get a little better over time. I might make a video on this since you both do not believe me. Although, just go watch One Proud Bavarian and save me the time of playing 2 full runs as the same medium-sized nation to prove my point. No, I mean, I'll definitely watch the video, but I'll be interested to see in that video, what is his investment pool? You know, and is he playing it indefinitely? Because just because you have this a much higher GDP doesn't mean your economy is in a good condition. Like if you have a high GDP but you have like no investment pool and you can't build buildings yourself, and you don't have like at least a moderately strong industrialist class, I don't think that's a strong economy. It's kind of like an American way of thinking where your economy is absolute crap, but you're like, but we have a high GDP. I'm like, it doesn't feel like the economy is very good right now. How can you get how you can get the private sector having 50% of your economy? Investment rights abroad. Okay, but if but if you're going to have investment rights abroad and you're giving investment rights in your country, the only reason to have investment rights abroad is that you're going to be building buildings in foreign countries. If you're going to be building buildings in foreign countries, why don't you just build buildings in your own country and not do any of that? You overbuilt the construction sectors. Well, I didn't overbuild them. They were okay before our massive war last episode. we heavily decreased them, but minus 22K is not that bad. We need to increase construction at some point. Wouldn't that make other countries have control of your economy? Well, I want to play the US. Any tips? Mad dude. I stopped trying to explain to you, Maxi, as Hemka 13 already explained it nicely. I tried to add valuable perspective to help you understand. Like pop availability and hitting GDP max. Can't argue somebody out of a position. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't think anybody's getting into emotional argument. It's just a passionate debate. And the reason why there's a debate on it is because there are some reasons to give foreign investment rights away. I won't say never give foreign investment rights away, even though the way I play is never give foreign investment rights away. But I think the benefits don't outweigh the negatives in giving away foreign investment rights. I certainly don't understand investment rights as the USA, but I see the point of it as Qing, although my RP-leaning brain wouldn't allow it. For me, giving investment rights away when you're somebody like the US, Great Britain, Russia, France, you can give investment rights away to get other things. So if I'm creating a treaty and I want these things, I'll give away investment rights for a period of time to get other things. But I don't think the investment rights are the valuable thing to me, even when playing as those larger countries. What about pausing my own construction and let the private sector build? See, that to me is always a dangerous thing. Let me get this off the screen, and then let me address that. Members of the philosophy department from the University of Wallachia have signed a formal petition for government funding. Scientific journal. Ooh, well, government expenses, but I do want that. When you pause, to me, pausing your government construction is always a last ditch effort. It's better to decrease your number of construction sectors because, again, when you pause the government construction, the full burden of cost goes on of the construction sectors goes on to the private sector and the investment pool, and it's always a way that it's always something that ends up draining your investment pool. If you keep the government construction paused for too long and your investment pool dwindles down, eventually they stop building. And then when you want to eventually unpause the government construction, without the private sector building or building at their full strength, you're going to incur a lot more cost and then go into a debt spiral. Now, sometimes I feel like, yeah, you can pause the government construction if you're like, I need to keep it paused until like I earn just a little bit more money to get out of some debt, some hole, right? But it cannot be done over a long period of time. It's much better to just decrease the number of construction sectors. Yeah, pausing construction is economic blasphemy. Roleplay modern China. For the Mexican parliament. Oh, we've got the... Oh, come on, guys. How... Okay, what is their strength? 45, 34. Oh, why... What do they have here? Oh, torpedo boats, ironclads. Ooh, we do not have a great navy. All right, but these guys will still be able to... why will it not let us station these guys yet? Maybe I should, but playing Chink scares me. All this investment pool talk, now I'm curious. So how will you fix your -20 problem? Well, we started to come out of it. But the main way I'm going to fix the problem and get back to a decent level is to nationalize a lot of these regional HQ buildings. You want to nationalize the building levels owned by the regional HQs before you just nationalize any foreign-owned building, because these regional HQs are sending their reinvestment money. Like this 5K of reinvestment is going back to Russia and not us. And so that's why we're not getting enough reinvestment. Just don't ban opium, suffer the debuff for 20 years. Yeah, do that. Might work. Let me make sure our blockade has started. Yep, there we go. So we'll keep that guy there. The Mexican Parliament have some brawl in their assembly for your content. Oh, I've never done a legit Mexico run, but I'm going to be doing one like offline in a little bit because I want to try to get the egalitarian society achievement through them. So is that something they have? I don't know the content for Mexico enough yet. Any tips for the US? The -20K is not an issue. You should always deficit spend. No, you don't you deficit spend with your national budget. It's not deficit spending if your investment pool is going negative. In fact, it's a very dangerous game to deficit spend while your investment pool is going down and not growing. To effectively deficit spend, your investment pool needs to be growing. You can go into debt, but the investment pool can't dwindle down. Raises taxes at least on medium, build like crazy, create a power block to get all South America in your customs, invest in a strong navy, cultivate positive relations for all GPs. Yeah, another war. Britain got us into this Canadian independence war. we're not giving our full might to it. We're just defending against naval invasions and blockading Prussia. That's the most we're going to contribute to this war. To be fair, that's pretty much the most they contributed to our war. And give investment rights. Well, oh, trust me, I'm always deficit spending, but I have no understanding of the economics, honestly. I tend to just hope my GDP outpaces my debt, which tends to work. That's pretty much the bulk of it right there. It's not necessarily you want your GDP to grow, but you want the amount that your debt is increasing to be lower than the amount that your credit limit is increasing. And your credit limit increases by having more buildings with full cash reserves. And so the more you build, the more buildings you get. The more buildings you get, assuming they're profitable, the more debt limit you get. Oh, though I believe it's just because I play large can't fail nations versus Mr. Cuts. Yeah, in his small nations here. Yeah, it's hard to get to deficit spending. Before the war we did, if we weren't trying to go for the achievement and I was happy with the states we had, we were in a position where we could have started deficit spending. We were starting to get investment and things like that. But because we're going for that achievement, the war kind of took us out of that position. For example, right now he is losing 31,000. He should be losing 61,000 optimally. Well, you have to remember, though, we are suffering from bankruptcy. So you can't deficit spend while you're in the midst of bankruptcy. We have a plus 41% loan interest rate. Oh, yeah, see that, yeah. But he just bankrupted, is no longer a great power. He's kind of run out of things to build, yeah. You definitely don't want to be doing deficit spending while you're bankrupt. Or at least at the beginning of it. The effects scale down, but... Reform investment, it ultimately lowers your investment pool. However, much of your country can handle it. It's a dangerous game to play without enough pops politically. See, I just don't think you can play the game long-term with no investment pool. Even if your GDP is growing. You can't build. You can't build anything in your country if you have no investment pool. I suppose maybe if you went to command economy, and as the government, you are going to build most of everything, then sure, maybe. But again, you got to ask, the question I have is, at what benefit are you getting from these investment rights? If the main benefit is that other people will build up your economy, but what is the answer to why don't you just build your economy yourself? Especially like if you're a country like the United States, the US, you can build your own economy. You have tons of people, tons of resources. Why would you not build it yourself? You don't need other people to build it for you. Stop quoting something here in a video, except this time another video. Wait, what? Another video? What other video? And he just bankrupted his... Oh, yeah, I read that one. We've established... you can't spell properly. Let's keep it civil, guys. Let's try to keep it a little civil. It's an interesting debate, to be honest. So let's keep it civilized. 0.1% of your GDP equates with a 5% GDP growth annually based on great major power interest rate. Yeah, but 1.1% GDP equating to 5% GDP growth, but you still need to own part of your economy. You can't give your entire economy away to a foreign country. Oh my god, I didn't know that about cash reserves. That's why building profitable. Yeah, of course it's obvious, but I didn't know the gameplay implication of it. Yeah, so you look here, your credit limit is based on the cash reserves of your buildings, right? So let's look, Like the artillery foundry, 41.8K. So there you go. Right now they have 33.6, 5.1, and that's pretty much what you're getting there. So if your cash reserves are dwindling, if you have no cash reserves and they're not profitable, your credit, even if you build the buildings, your credit limit is not going to go up. You need the buildings to actually be profitable and gain cash reserves. And you also want the buildings to gain cash reserves, because once they have full cash reserves, ooh, something just sold. Once you get full cash reserves, then more money will go to the investment pool. If you're not retaining the dividends, your investment pool is stunted. Yeah. You like Connor's video. I don't know which one of Connor's videos that is. Connor's yeah, very much about GDP growth. And he can really grow GDP well, but I think sometimes it's just about the GDP growth, which I don't think the game is about. I think it's about multiple things. Ooh, we need to add, okay, we need to add here. Okay, we're gonna start taking back some of these things. We just had some buildings sell, so we got a little bit here. 286K. Like, for instance, I want to take back these food industries. The investment's pretty low in these. The question for you, I'm playing East India Company. How do I deal with Great Britain's investments? I think you kind of have to just pray for more. No. I think once you finally get your independence, then you nationalize them and take them back. I mean, I think it's as simple as that. I don't think you want them... You want to gain independence as the EIC, and then once you gain independence, you can get off of, what is it called? Extraction economy, and then just nationalize those buildings back for yourself. So the cash reserves flow directly into your investment pool when they max out. So they don't like flow into your investment pool. It's just that a building. Let me look at one. Yeah. So, oh, this is a bad example because this one is taking from there. Yeah, so take a look at this. So this building, so it's sending 1.56K of dividends to the owners, but then it's adding 1.1K to the cash reserves. But once the cash reserves are full, this money will now fully go as dividends. So, and then they get fully added to dividends back to my company. And then they have more to work with and more reinvestment. So you'll get more reinvestment if the cash reserves are full. You should always aim to drain your investment pool. I'm not sure at what percentage yet, but I aim to see a bit of red there. You want to drain your investment pool? I mean, you want the investment pool to be used. And it's true if you have like massive investment pool, that's not great. But if you have an overabundance of investment pool, that's just more reason to build more construction. I don't want to see red here necessarily. I don't know why that would be a good thing. Bro directly quoted Connor's video. Chucky tried to quote OTP's video. You are not Australia, Canada. You are India. You have to pull 500 million people from poverty. The more investment, the better. Yeah, but you're going to get that investment. You're forced with that investment at the beginning. So you're already going to have the investment once you gain independence. It's going to take you some time to get independence from Great Britain. And you want to build your construction sector so that you can build the buildings yourself and get people out of poverty. I still don't understand why you why you want another country building as opposed to building up your own construction sectors. At what university they teach that you should nationalize everything and close down your economy, North Korea style, so local oligarchs have a monopoly of useless resource extraction? No, you don't nationalize everything. You nationalize the foreign-owned things. And quite honestly, you're nationalizing the regional HQ-owned things, mainly. Oh, hold on here. Okay. I forgot. I paused because we need to build more. Why? What do we have going on here? Oh, we have an overabundance. Yeah, we could use more. Oh, that's right. Hold on. I forgot here. Yeah, we had to delete a bunch of construction sectors from Moldavia. That's why they have all of this steel being unused. So let's do that. And we have, we have this. Oh, but we can't utilize any of the stuff for it yet. Oh, it's getting hard to keep up here. That would make more sense. Thanks for the explanation, teacher. Yeah, of course. Maybe I'll try a specialized economy. No, yeah, go for it. You're welcome. Keeping the prices of pops needs stable grows IP, since your farms, clergy, shopkeepers, capitalists, and aristocrats keep more of their money, and their buildings are, by definition, always in demand. Yeah, very true. To give an actual argument, here's a devil's advocate perspective. Because company reinvestment is broken in this patch, if you have good companies, you could always give away more ownership. What do you mean specifically by company reinvestment is broken in this patch? And on the other hand, at what university they teach you shouldn't deficit spend, at least to the point that the interest rate payments grow lower than the GDP of the country. But the thing is, you can't deficit spend if 100% or even vast majority of your economy is foreign owned, because you can't deficit spend if you have no investment pool. If your investment pool runs out, you're going to debt spiral if you're in the midst of deficit spending. In order to effectively deficit spend, you need to make sure you are continuing to build. And to be honest, in order to effectively deficit spend, you really need to be on laissez-faire. And so you need 75% of your construction points to be paid for by this investment pool. So, and if at a certain point, if enough of your economy is foreign owned by regional HQs, you're not going to have a large investment pool. You can't deficit spend if you don't have a decent sized investment pool. I do have investment rights given to some Great Britain. I did get a journal entry about lowering Great Britain's entanglement, which I wasn't able to do in time. Still okay, though. At the moment, I'm still annexing princes until I have to be able to form India. Yeah, I think India is a unique example because you are going to have... Ooh, hold on. We're being naval invaded again. Are these guys back? Oh, they are back. Yeah, we're going to have to... Okay. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with foreign investment for a good amount of time as India. So it is okay in that sense because it's just going to be what it is. But I'm saying eventually when you get the option to, you should try to nationalize those buildings back. But yeah, at the beginning, you're not going to be able to stop it because Great Britain is extracting everything from you. The extraction economy that you start off with is built towards that. No real reason for it, as you can build the stuff yourself if you have steel from... Yeah, you can build stuff yourself. Construction points equals GDP percentage growth. Here, now you understand. Yes, but again, construction points equals GDP growth. But if you have a lot of construction points and no investment pool, and your private queue cannot fully utilize those construction points, you have to use them, and you won't be able to afford it. I mean that company profits are busted, and their reinvestment is usually 5 to 10 times of other reinvestment if you get good companies. So you don't really need ownership. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Deficit spending is unrelated to the investment pool. Your investment pool is your stock market. Deficit spending is tied with your interest rates. And yes, you need to have laissez-faire, absolutely. Okay, yes, but your investment pool is directly tied to your private sector's ability to build. When there's no investment pool, or when, say I was at 1 million in the investment pool, they're not going to be able to build everything here. And once they stop building, you incur those costs. And because you're deficit spending, you're gonna hit defaults very quickly. In order to effectively deficit spend, you need the private queue to be building consistently. In order for the private queue to build consistently, you need a healthy investment pool. So without the healthy investment pool, you don't have the private queue. Without the private queue, you're going to hit default, and you won't be able to deficit spend. Is war still terrible? They've made quite a few changes, especially in the last patch, to war. I don't think war is terrible. I think it depends on what you're looking for from war. War in this game is always revolves around how well do you supply your armies. And I think, especially in the last patch, especially now that they've changed that being undersupplied affects your organization, it makes war have a lot more complicated layers to it. In keeping your army supplied and also blockading the enemy to cut off their supplies. Like right now, what are we at here? Yeah, I wish we were blockading a little better. So we're only at 3%. If we could get that higher, then we're going to make, oh, well, not the US, but some of these other Russian armies to lower their organization, and lower organization lowers their offense, defense. Oh, we got the Twitch bot. We got the Twitch bot. Got to get rid of that guy. But that is probably temporary, as companies are way overtuned in this patch. I mean, companies are, yeah, like, you absolutely have to go with companies now. That's kind of become the standard. So yeah, there might be a bit of a debuff to companies, I feel like, in the future patches. But I'm loving it at the moment. Blowouts, oil fires, and other lethal accidents are becoming more common as the hunt for oil in Moldavia grows more ruthless. Yeah, I'd rather take the hit to throughput than mortality. We need all the people we can get. It's an interesting gameplay since it's so different to others I played. Yeah, I want to do an India run. I want to do an India stream, to be honest with you. There's so many smaller nations there to have a lot of fun with. But yeah, I actually really love Pivot of Empire DLC. I love what it added there. You can deficit spend with the public sector building, for example. You really can't. You really can't. You can't incur the full costs of massive numbers of construction sectors as the government and deficit spend. Like you just said yourself, you absolutely need to be on laissez-faire to deficit spend. The reason why you need to be on laissez-faire is because 75% of your construction points goes to the private sector. But if the private sector can't take the 75% of those points and you're taking them, then other than the negative 25% loan interest rate, there's no benefit to laissez-faire in regards to deficit spending. But this is actually, so this whole discussion is actually very funny because the next tutorial video I've been planning on making actually is a deficit spending tutorial video. So when you see that come out eventually, that actually isn't a result of this conversation. I'm actually actively working on one. I never had a debt spiral with any major countries since I surpassed a few hundred hours in game, but keep it up, you entertain me. It sounds like a skill issue to me, to be fair. I mean, okay, maybe, but I don't think it is. Yeah, get the Americans on our side. Yeah. Possibly, right? I do think, though, it is still worth having Great Britain on our side. Because they hate both Austria and the Russians. And I think the US only hates Austria. But I suppose the rest of the world will be more friendly with us. Will India stream soon? That would be sick. Not sure I've seen anyone play there. Yeah, it's a little intimidating because there's so much going on there. But I've actually been thinking about doing a... Oh, they changed it now. Mysore. Starting off as Mysore and trying to form India. That's a pretty lofty one, though. But that is on that is on the plan at some point. An easy way to stabilize growth of IP without foreign investment: automate the minimum number of buildings that address needs and tariff imports of those goods. IP always grows because domestic owned. Without foreign, automate the number of buildings that address needs and tariff imports of those goods. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's a great idea. That would definitely grow the investment pool there. The reason why you have to be on laissez-faire is the reduction of interest rate. Yes. No, that's true. The negative 25% interest rate. Oh, what am I doing? Not that. Is definitely needed for that. But what is also needed is that you, the government, are not incurring the full costs of construction. Because remember, to deficit spend, you are trying to balance this not filling up. And so in order to do that, you're constantly gaining more debt, but you're trying to make sure your debt limit increases as well. And if you are incurring the full cost, that is just going to make this amount of debt go up quicker. If your country is still building at a healthy rate and you only have to pay 25% of the building costs, this is going to go up slower, allowing this to outpace this. But if you are incurring the majority of construction, this is going to outpace this, and you won't be able to effectively deficit spend. Nobody's saying they have debt spiral issues. He's trying to explain to you for the third time that reinvestment limits your max construction. Yeah. There's a huge difference between paying 5% interest and 8% interest. Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it doesn't, because they investment, take the money, invest back in your economy. I don't remember which one of the messages that's in reference to. This is my second try of EIC. First try I failed to get the soul high enough and ended up in Siphon Rebellion and British Raj. Still was fun and managed to get a free India in the 1900s. Nice, congrats. But it was full of fails. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing when you're playing with India. It's never going to work out fully in your favor. Oh, did I... When I joined this war as an ally, I did not take a war goal. What a dumb mistake. What a dumb mistake. We're going to win this war and I get nothing out of it. I was too busy talking about this reinvestment investment pool discussion. I forgot to add a war goal. Damn it. I think it's optimal to get the Sepoy Rebellion because it unlocks self-governance and also let you annex the princely states. Yeah, that's true. That is a very, very good strategy to get that going. This one I managed to keep the Honorable Company and stay EIC, and now at 1880 I'm annexing the princes. Autocorrect me, I mean Sepoy, of course. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, hey, Jabba, hello, hello. Finally able to catch live. Yeah, good to see you. Glad to have you back. How is everything? Hope all is well. With the groundwork... Oh, finally, the war is over. With the groundwork of the Moldavia oil industry complete, its appeal and promises winning among those seeking to carve out their fortune. Good, we're getting mass migrations there. Yeah, let's take that. Oh, what is this? We're... Good, good. Now we're fully done. Still waiting for the deficit spending Congo tutorials. Yeah. I don't think we'll be deficit spending as Congo. I think you could get to a point where you start deficit spending as Congo in the late game if you can get fairly high. The first ever stream I did was a Congo stream, and I think we got up to... I think like... yeah, we got to like 26. But I think you could get higher as Congo. But I don't think you could really start deficit spending as Congo because you until very late game, because you're not going to be able to get high enough. It's going to take a long time to get that high as Congo. See, here's the problem. We do not want to join this. Yeah, no. Actually, here's where we start pivoting to the United States, because Great Britain, our relations are going to start going down. Yeah, because we're saying no to their thing. So maybe we do start playing towards the United States there. $185. Yeah, they're pretty high there. Ooh, I don't know if I want to get rid of this. We need all that. See, that's it. Well, that's the other thing. We're bound to this alliance for another 15 years. Why is this? Yeah, they don't want this alliance either. You know, we could... Oh, we're going to owe them an obligation at the end of the whole thing. I don't think we're going to be able to get out of this alliance. Because, yeah, what they want is for us to join their power block. So do people here play for clean borders or high GDP? Well, what do you mean by clean borders? I mean, I definitely try to get the GDP as high as I can. But I also don't... I don't think GDP is the be-all and end-all of this game. I mean, yeah, it's obviously one of the larger parts, but there's no winning condition in this game. People try to act like this game, the winning condition is having the highest GDP, and I don't believe that. There is no winning condition in this game. That being said, you want to grow your GDP as much as you can in this game. That is part of it. They withdrew from a thing giving us the opium. Oh. We still have a ton of it, though. Oh, look at that. Okay. Hmm. Circle borders and high GDP, both with at least 30 sold by endgame. Oh, I see what you mean by clean borders. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, in that sense, I'm not trying to, like, as Romania, take over Qing or anything like that. Deficit spending as Congo. Budget does not understand pop availability or growth of hitting GDP max. Deficit spending in Victoria 3, the game we're talking about, only works when you have pops. Well, no, you can... If we're talking about late game Congo, you can start to get a lot of pops. I think you could, at one point in a run, before 1936, start deficit spending as Congo if throughout the run you've expanded a lot, invested a lot in colonizing and all the other stuff that goes with it. But it's going to be a long time before you can do that. Although before 1.9, I would sometimes go grab an Arabian country for the oil. Yeah, because the AI wouldn't build anything tier 4 tech and above. I mean, that's unfortunately also historical. GDP is when you're an industrialist. GDP over anything. Yeah. Yeah, GDP over anything. I mean, that is part of the game. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think it is the only thing in the game. GDP is when you're an industrialist, even if your country is rich. Are the people rich? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the standard of living is also really low. Like, I was watching, like, one of Connor's videos, one time I was watching at one point, I forget which one it was, where he was talking about how to max grow your GDP, but he was also saying you need to keep standard of living, like, at 10 or below. And I was like, okay, I mean, that is a playstyle, but that's not something I necessarily want to do. I think having a high standard of living is also just as beneficial as having GDP. I think you can have both high at the same time. You might not have the highest GDP imaginable, but if you have an awful standard of living, then... I played a game, Caring for My Pops, and it was more endearing than I thought, but my line go up feeling was weak. Yeah, it is going to be a little bit. That's funny. All my tutorial videos is Congo. That's funny you mentioned that, because I feel like at one point somebody was going to call me out that all my tutorial videos are as the United States. Because I have a lot of them as the United States. But I do have a starting steps run that I was doing as Congo. Okay, let's start fixing some stuff here. We need, we need more of a lot. They're going to hire up. They're hiring up. Okay. So we do need to fix this steel problem. That's going to give us a little too much steel. Ooh, yeah, Wallachia's built a lot of it. You know, I keep forgetting too. Okay, hold on. Ooh, yeah, I don't think we're gonna get to this. We need to get, like, 14,000 more steel building. Yeah, Stephen and Maximilian, let's tone it down just a notch. You guys are... It's an interesting conversation, but you guys are kind of attacking each other periodically, which is not fun. Yeah, you need more states, like a lot more states, and tech and great migration laws. Again, goes back to, yeah, you need pops. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Reverse Hamcuts is back. Hello there, Reverse Hamcuts. What about playing with other government types than you usually do? Not multiculturalism, state church, and all those you usually avoid. I think that... So, for right now, I'm working on offline strategies for the hegemony objective. And the final one for hegemony is having 40% of the world's population. And so you do need to do a lot of conquests, but I do think leaning into state religion and making the church powerful, and I don't know if ours gets it, but keeping them happy, yeah, and getting a little bit more birth rate would be good. Not going towards for women's suffrage, but working toward keeping, again, birth rate effects so that you can keep your population growing. So there are runs that I think that would be helpful for. But I think you would still want multiculturalism. All right, how are our motor industries doing? I think for motor industries, yeah, they're not hired. How many people do we have here now? All right, so we're at our max there. Yeah, we're running out of pops. This is the problem. We have to just start building in these states. What is... Have we gotten... Okay. We're just gonna have to start building in these places. So first thing I want is... Yeah, lead to start. Oh, and actually, I keep forgetting about this place. Oh, we got a lot here. What's the turmoil? Oh, the turmoil is even worse. All right, let's fix the infrastructure problem here. All right, we're building a railroad there. Let's subsidize this. Well, we already have 11 here. Yeah, see, I want to nationalize a lot of that stuff. See, look at this. Look at our investment pool here. All right, we're going to start nationalizing stuff. Sadly, and it's not even sad, it's true from a historical point, you always end up with the same laws. This is not you, for there's no reason to go theocracy outside role-playing reasons. Well, again, I feel like you could lean into theocracy if you need just general pop growth, which you would need for the hegemony objective. So if you're trying to go for that, I think that would work. I wanted to know, do you already have that original appropriation achievement? Because you could try to merge it with that of the Amish USA. Which achievement is the original appropriation one? I know the Amish USA one. I forget, what is the original appropriation achievement? Having a lot of clergy actually gives you more investment pool. They contribute 20% like shopkeepers. This is true too. Yeah, that could help you in that sense. There are tangible material reasons to have a large clergy population. Yeah, also, you know, in the tutorial video I did about assimilation and conversion, when I was using the example of Ecuador, you leaning into state religion ultimately gives you much better pop acceptance and conversion. And the converting to a certain religion will help somebody get into a higher pop acceptance category, which will then allow them to start assimilating. I want priests to buy stocks. Who cares about capitalists? Said nobody ever. Well, hold on a second, though. You basically just said who cares about capitalists when you were talking about not having any political clout to your industrialists before, by having everything foreign owned and your industrialist class not owning anything. You were just talking about that before. I recently played Persia and kept the state church. Autocracy and monarchy. It was a really fun playthrough, yeah. Yeah. It also gives you more authority, which will help you in certain instances. The one where you have to be the largest producer of grain. Oh, and groceries with the law of original appropriation. Well, it's the homesteading law. Yeah, that one is the breadbasket achievement. Pass the homesteading law and be the leading producer of grain and groceries. Yeah. Yeah, I think that one, I got that one with the USA because the USA has these state modifiers of Great Plains, plus 20% agriculture, plus 20% plantations throughput. And so you have them in these states right here. And so you just built a ton of wheat or grain and food industries here. And you can very easily get that achievement as long as you stay on homesteading, because the U.S. starts with homesteading. Okay, let's focus here. Let's focus. I'm losing focus. We have a lot of industry here. Well, actually, yeah, we don't have a lot of industry. Oh, yeah, but we are going to nationalize things. So let's take a look at those regional HQs. The Hudson's Bay Company. Volkov von. Just trying to see which one we want to start with first. The EIC. The Russian-American Company. Yeah, look at this. And the vodka monopoly. I think we're going to start with this. So we're going to nationalize these food industries. Fortunately, we have to give them compensation. And the food industries in Bulgaria. So look at that. So 1.16K is now coming back to us. We do have to be careful, though, because we don't want to go into too much debt over it. Yeah, we're gonna nationalize. $38. Oh wait, hold on though. I think I'm gonna get 11 of them. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh no, not Jesus Christ. All right, well, let's take these. I want to take these 6. It's saying, though, 38. I want to take these. Never said they substitute directly for capitalists, just that academics and bureaucrats replacing them cost some investment pool. Oh, yeah. I don't remember what the reference to that was. Yeah, migration is always better. The drawback is literacy, sadly. Yeah, literacy will, if you're aiming for pop growth through birth rate, literacy will hurt that. Which religion addresses not as much migration, but you have a literate population that still has babies, plus corporatism ideology addresses the labor problems. Oh, that is true. Yeah, you can increase your literacy while still having birth rate if you lean into the church. I am crying internally as he wiped 3 million from his reserves to get 6K more investment. My guy, look at this. We got down to 9 million at one point. Not too long ago, we were at like 16 million. This needs to be fixed. I don't get how you don't see this as a problem. We were at 40 million investment pool at one point, and we're now down to 11 million. Like, look at this. This eventually is going to eliminate the investment pool. Go to building registry and filter by ownership. But that's not gonna, I don't think that will help us with what we're trying to get here. So foreign-owned steel mills. Yeah, the ones in Wallachia. Yeah, I don't get what the filter is doing here. Can I not nationalize these? Because it's saying level zoned 38. All right, we'll come back to this. Well, we're also... Okay, we're going to have to wait a little bit. I also want to get rid of... Yeah, look at this. I think we might have to withdraw from that treaty. Could we give them anything else? Sure. No we have free trade, that's right. Never mind. I hate to say this, but I think we're just gonna withdraw from this treaty. We'll gain 5 infamy, but whatever. I know, yeah. I know the nationalized, well, they have investment rights. That's why I'm trying to get out of this treaty right now. That's what made me think of it. I think we just need to withdraw from this treaty. Screw it. We're doing it. Hey, I just bought Victoria 3 and was bouncing off of it, but then found your tutorials on YouTube and it's finally starting to click. Oh, thank you, Skinny Obelix. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Welcome into the stream. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you. What country is your first playthrough with? I retain the right to cry internal. It's your right. It's your right. Go for it. Go to foreign owned registry buildings and find the buildings you want. Check the investment rights granted to Britain. Yeah. Yeah. This is the issue I was running into. You can only with the regional HQ owned, but not actual foreign owned while they have it. Yeah, that's what it is. Good point. If you withdraw, you are dead. I'm Belgian, so Belgium. Oh, nice. It's a great country to start off with, so very apropos. Very nice, very nice. Wait, you can rearrange the treaty instead. Just give them a little bit of money as a gift. Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to do here. I worry... I guess I could up the money, right? Yeah. Oh, you know, I totally missed the ad break. Ah, I missed the Twitch ad break. Apologies to everybody. I totally missed the ad break. But we will, I won't miss the next one. As a gift or reimbursement. No. Remove every other article so it's only you giving them a little bit of money. Oh, I see what you're saying. Though we do well, we kind of need this, but I think our trade centers could take care of that. Oh, I see what you're saying. Ingenious. So put it back to what it was. What if I just give them like 500? Oh my god. What if we give you 100? What is this? What if we... Let's just do this Price is Right style. Let's give you $1. Oh, you can't. That's the lowest you can go. Oh my god. Yeah, let's do this. Oh yeah, then they count it as a gift with 1,000 acceptance. Sneaky. And we don't have to do any... Oh my god. Booyah. Twitch people watching ads right now as we watch him negotiate treaties. How exciting. You know, I've never tried it before. I guess that's why I wasn't aware of it. Okay. So let's... We're gonna need, oops. Regardless of this, well, yeah, let's just, all right, there we go. Do you like tacos? I do love tacos. I absolutely love tacos. Okay, so now we're going to go back. One thing I'm learning about here for sure is how much I suck at diplomacy. Yeah, I know. I love the treaties thing. I guess I'm too cheap. I've never thought of giving anybody a gift. So that's good to know. But yeah, the treaties negotiation is actually a lot of fun in this game. So where I think it was in Wallachia actually. That's where we were. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. All right. So it's a little bit better here. So I think we're good for now. Yeah, so interest is a little high. What we can do... We're not passing any laws right now. What do these guys want? Ethno-state. Pan-nationalism. I'm too nice. The idea of buying up investment rights everywhere grosses me out. Yeah. Yeah. I would say we need them, but we actually don't. We have so much to build here, it's going to take forever. We could do protected speech. The only problem is that's just going to give the British power bloc more leverage on us. What's our... Yeah, we're on multiculturalism. We don't want to get rid of that. A little bit better because you are building, pause the construction, and you realize you didn't make a dent. A dent in what? This was at negative 112K. And yeah, if you pause the construction queue, of course this will be much worse because they're paying 100% of the construction costs. So yeah, this will definitely be much worse if you pause construction always, no matter what. We still need to address more of that, but let's start improving relations here. The investment pool. No, no matter what your situation is, if you pause the construction queue, this number will always significantly go down because the investment pool is now incurring all of the construction costs. So, yeah, of course this will be worse if you pause construction. But you weren't building before, that's why it was negative 110K. No, I get that, but you still need to acquire... I guess I don't understand, Maximilian, how you see regional HQs as a good thing. I don't know how you see that as a good thing. They are sending reinvestment out of my country. It's a direct correlation. 513 reinvestment here. 676 reinvestment here. 2.96K of reinvestment. Not a dime of it going here. Like, I don't know how that's not a bad thing. That's why automating some things is good. Investment pool grows more because investors aren't paying for all construction. Yeah. You mean like put the auto build queue on? Is that what you're referring to? Oh, this is a little bit better. 22 weeks. Yeah, okay. 37.9. So we're starting to... We got 4 more years of this. Actually, it'll kind of time perfectly with our bankruptcy. Oh, you know, when we were losing those naval battles, too, I was like, why is our offense-defense so bad? I kind of forgot about the bankruptcy thing. I am past the argument. I'm not arguing now not to nationalize. Do as you must. I'm arguing that you blew millions that could have waited and prioritized getting Britain to your wars with Russia. We still can. I mean, we have this alliance for 14 years. We haven't done anything to that. His reinvestment is currently 90K. If he increased it by 8K with what he just did, while also working to remove a regional HQ, it is 100% a good thing. You can also sell those buildings back. Yeah, that's the other point, too, is actually... I almost forgot. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah. Let's... Oh, they are up for sale. Good. Yeah, they're up for sale, but also, yeah, so now we need the investment pool to grow so that they can buy it. Yes, like my 1 to 20 soul mix to keep needs stable. Yeah. Which, we need a better soul as well. Ooh, goldfields. Or gold mines. We'll do those sooner rather than later, actually. What we really need to do is take this little piece of land off of Portugal. Not right now, because we're very infamous. But we do need to fix that. His own people, when they stop being poor. Romanian capitalists equal good, British capitalists equal bad. Well, yeah. I want the Romanian capitalists to have the money, not the British capitalists. Do you still have a truce with Austria? Oh, good point. How long does that go for? God, look at all these countries on here. You know what? Let me just look at Austria. Oh, no, that's Mecklenburg. Oh, do we not? How is that, though? We were at war at the same time. I suppose we don't have a truce with them. Oh, these truces were because of the war we just had. Yeah, so we're not at truce with them now. The Anti-Indian Association has offered us an opportunity to acquire trade privileges from Russia. Sure. I'll take trade privileges with them. A group of students attending the university in Romania and Bessarabia have arranged a demonstration in support of the labor movement. The display has inspired other students to join the cause. The labor movement. Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, but the gold reserve cushion would have been very handy when you mobilize 500,000 people. Yeah, but so this we can fix. Like, even right now, it's getting fixed. This is harder to fix. Out of curiosity, how many bankruptcies has he had? I've had one. And that was because of the war we went on. We had a massive, massive war last episode, which was necessary in order to get these states. And had we gotten all the states for the achievement, like say we had finished that war and we had Bessarabia and Banat, I wouldn't have taken the bankruptcy because I could have. We were in a position to get out of default. We were already out of default and fixing the debt. The problem is, given we were in 1903 and we got to go to another war eventually, it was better to just take the bankruptcy and get a reset after the 10 years. So it would have been different had we gotten the achievement from that war, but we couldn't. Sell it back to his own people, then they stop being poor, is what that meant. It was a continuation of the message above. Yeah, one that I know. Romanian capitalist, good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're Romania. Our capitalists are the ones that we're more concerned with, not the British ones. All right, let's take a look at a newspaper called the Romanian Bessarabia Tribune has printed a bigoted article about the Bihari people living there. We can suppress the article or we can let it be released. No, I don't want to lose the authority right now. Suppose we could. We're just, oh, it's 5%. We're going to lose 6. All right, we'll do that. What's going on here? So we're going to get... oh no, it's going to be some time before we get the company slot. So we got some time before that. After receiving notice of the horrors that the citizens of Romanian Zambezi have been enduring, solidarity among the nations has been raised, and there are many who want to donate to the cause. In southern Transylvania, okay. I don't really care about my relations with El Salvador or Egypt. I'll take the approval for the industrialists. By the way, that lobby opportunity has now turned into a demand because you accepted it. Oh, yeah. No, that's right. I gotta address that in a moment. Opposed to the arbitrary and illiberal rule of the General of India, the Orthodox Church have fallen in with the Anti-Indian Association. Sure. So the thing I'm hoping for with this lobby opportunity is that if we can give more leverage to the Russian power block, it will lessen a little bit of the British one, and they won't be able to keep asking us to join their power block. So, but it looks like they don't want anything from us. Oh yeah, that lobby is not going to work. We have an alliance with Spain. Well, oh, we're already improving relations. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't mind if this doesn't work out, though. You don't get any negative effects if nothing happens from it. I don't think the lobby gets angry, actually. Does it? I don't think so. There's no negative effects. It's just a benefit. The negative effect is if you turned it down. Although, you know, I could expel their diplomats and improve relations here. All right, we need... Yeah, this is going to be an uphill battle here. Oh, I forgot, actually. Something I did want to get with the British. Could I get... Yeah, no. No. And probably not with them. Oh, what about the Cape Colony? Oh, yeah, because they're British. If I could get transit rights, I can get them connected to our market. Hmm. Yeah, that's going to be the problem. Our diplomatic stance. They don't like us because we're not in their power block. Yeah, we could conquer that little bit of Portugal. It's just that we have a lot of infamy, and we're getting a lot of radicals from conquest. I'm hoping to get this down so that we lower the amount of radicals in these states. Let me see how much infamy I would really take if I tried to take this. .6. I forget what's the threshold for infamy again? Oh yeah, that's right. Notorious is 50 to 99. So it doesn't look like anybody else would join in here. Joining the Great Britain power block isn't the end of the world, by the way. They can subjugate you if you're same rank as them. There are benefits to joining if you won't make it their own. Yeah, they can't subjugate me. The problem, what I don't like about it is, 1, foreign investment. 3, we are a lower rank than them, so they're going to have investment rights in us. We would get more authority, but I absolutely don't want them to have investment rights in our country. See, the thing I don't like is, in terms of our economy, we have all of this here. I suppose, though, if we... Oh. All right, yeah. Here's what we're going to do. Through tools, get us some tools. So it's not as much of a problem. You know, okay, we might do this. You should buy some colonies from Britain. Well, for one, we don't have any money. Also, the buying things off of people, they never want to do it. You end up spending way too much money. I don't think it would... The buying things, buying land in treaties never truly works. Yeah, but when you go back to great power, same rank, as they won't have the investment. This is true, yeah. If I make it back to great power... Oof, no, right? Oh, I didn't realize. Right now I'm a minor power. So I'm 2 ranks below them. Maybe it's time to start buying up investment rights anywhere you can. Well, no, because the problem with that is we have a lot... Oh, we have something here. We have a lot of pops to employ in these new states we got. Oh, not that one. These 3. So I want to build up here first before I start building elsewhere. The problem we were running into before while we were waiting to build is that the turmoil is causing significant construction efficiency. Now we're down to 23%, but we were at 96% construction inefficiency at the beginning of the episode. But now we can start building here again. So we want to build here before we start building elsewhere. But eventually, yeah, we are going to want to get investment rights. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. When the bankruptcy is done. But I also don't want to give them 6 years of foreign investment rights. So, yeah, maybe in 6 years, we look to join their power block. Maybe. It just sucks as I don't think there's any other benefits to... I don't like the mandates they added in. Organizers affiliated with the reactionary movement have embarked on a focused campaign to inspire support for national supremacy in Dobruja. Yeah. Do not like the reactionary movements. At least try to get a treaty to get more territory. But a treaty isn't going to give us more territory anywhere. Nobody ever wants to give you land, right? Like, let's say we wanted this, which we gave to them to begin with. Yeah, it's a negative 121. I don't even think, like, let's say we added as much as we possibly could. So if we gave them 122,000 a week and military assistance, which they want, we still wouldn't be able to buy this off of them. So in the end, it doesn't really work. He does not have enough money in the investment pool for his own nation at the moment. Investing in others won't help the current situation. It makes sense. Maybe focus on groceries, textiles, furniture. Yeah, that's a good idea, right? That's probably what we want to do. So we got these loaded up. What actually is... Yeah, we do need more groceries for when we go to war. We're going to need those for the mobilization options. Are our current ones hired? Dobruja and Moldavia. I'm gonna buy you guys at some point. Oh yeah, because they're out of pops there. And what is the timetable for that? Which are you referring to, Peter? The bankruptcy? We have 6 years left on that. We did just jump up to major power. Yeah, so we'd have to get to 915 to get to great power. And I think mainly we jumped up probably because the prestige hit here went down a little bit. Their mandates and joining their market is better for you than no power block at all. After you're ready to go back to great power, that is, you join just before you get great power status. Throw in an obligation, and you are sweet. I do avoid the money slider. I don't want to give money. But nah, even this, like, yeah, owe an obligation. We'd have a 50% chance, but remember, we're giving 102,000 a week to get that piece of land. I mean, that would not be beneficial to us right now. Giving money has limit to acceptance benefit around 8 to 9K. Oh, I was asking if you will do 1 or 2 wars for your states. I will, because we need to get these 2 states to get the achievement. Now, we're definitely not going to war until this bankruptcy is fully done. So we got 6 years before that starts. My hope is that by the end of that 6 years, we are ready to go to war. Because, yeah, we do outnumber their military and Russia's military. And we got Great Britain as an ally. So I think in 6 years, honestly, we will be able to do this. Honestly, I would like to be on Prussia's good side, but... Yeah, they don't like Great Britain. So that's going to be tough. He needs 2 more states. One is owned by Russia and the other by Austria. The Pepe guy is correct here. You should play with the slider. They'll accept for less if you throw an obligation. Well, so first off, even with the slider at max, it's only 45%. Oh, I see what you're saying here. Why would they have more acceptance? Oh. I assumed giving them less money would give less acceptance. Why? That seems so stupid. Why would that be a thing? That is quite a bit of money to give away, though. Although we could afford it. Huh, that is interesting. I think that's very stupid in the game. Oh, you'll give us 102,000 a week. Maybe. Oh, wait, you'll give us 9K a week? Definitely. What the art of the deal right there. Yeah, if you give them 9K per week for 5 years, obligation, another thing you offered should take a chance. Yeah. The slider does not have to be at max. It caps after a certain amount depending on the situation. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I didn't fully understand what you were saying because this just doesn't make sense. Look at that. Okay. Well, let's see what they say. I can't believe that's a thing. That shouldn't be a thing, but okay. It worked. Well, good. And so now, oh, we need more infrastructure here. $9K to get access to your gold mines. Yeah. No, I know. No, I'm saying that's a great deal. I don't, but I'm saying it dumb. It shouldn't be a thing that if you give less money, they'll be more inclined to do it. Members of the Social Democratic Workers' Party have drawn attention to the rise of the Radical Party, expressing their willingness to offer a more moderate solution to their political extremism. Yeah, we'll do this. Another welcome to Victory Logic mode. Yeah. That one for true. For true. You could also give them goods. Yeah, that's true. The goods would have given us a little bit too. If they had declined that offer on 87%, I would have then done some goods. Oh, well, now we can do a colonial administration. I don't know if I want to do that though. Right, because then the gold mines will be under control of the colonial administration. I want this minting for me. Correct me if I'm wrong there. POTUS would be proud of your deal. Yeah, I know, right? The art of the deal for sure right there. Because I am stingy and never give money. Yeah, I am stingy and never give money. Right, if I do the colonial administration, the country that forms, I'll lose this minting. I mean, they would be nice to conquer, but it's not a priority right now. I don't want to take any infamy I don't need. Because I want this to be low enough so that after the 6 years, I will take infamy on getting those 2 other states. Do it. Deal. What did I miss? I just got up. Oh. We just made a deal to get Lorenzo Marquez. I thought it wasn't going to work because I was showing that, look, if I offer the Cape Colony 102,000 a week, they still won't take it, even if I give them an obligation. It turns out if I lowered the amount of money I give them to 9K a week, they are much more apt to take it, which is ridiculous. You know, it's another victory moment. Sometimes they lose the article of giving you the land inside the treaty, so you can then renegotiate to 100 gold gift. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You get like 2.3k minting. It's worth creating a subject always if the colony is fully expanded. No, but that's what I'm asking though, because the minting goes to the country that this is in, right? So if this is now going to be owned by a colony that's a subject of mine, the minting will go to the subject. So I don't know if I want to create that administration. Are you colonizing the Congo? Yep. Or I don't think so. No, we aren't. Because we don't own anything in Congo. But it's only if the bug happens where they lose their side of the article after giving you the land. Oh, I see, I see. Is there a way to see what I can use invoke doctrine or lapse again? Is there a way to see when I can use invoke doctrine or lapse again? That I don't know. I don't know for sure on that one. Okay. Start building more. Who has the most? Actually, does anybody have, here we go, plus 10% agriculture throughput. So let's start building some foodstuffs here. What is grain in our market, actually? Use a little more. And then we're going to build some food industries. And we got plenty of this stuff here. All right. Let's see, what should we be passing? We could get off a free trade, be able to start tariffing things, but kind of like the benefit we're getting. I would love to get off of censorship, but I honestly don't know if we can. I might do right of assembly. Although, we are going to lose that plus 100 authority. Oh, we'll only lose 50. See, the tech spread. The plus 20... No, we need the plus 25% leverage resistance. We do kind of need that. Oh, yeah. Let's do no migration controls. Let's try to get on that. It's the Annexed Princely States in EIC. It has a duty of 2 years, but it's hard to keep track of a cooldown. Yeah, I think the best way to keep track of it... Well, yeah, if you keep it up here, you'll see this pop up, one possible action. So if you highlight it, yeah, you'll be able to easily see it up here on the outliner. Making a colony administration is only worth when you pass 200 million GDP. It's not always worth it, like Max claims. Oh, I missed where he said that. Oh, you get like 2.3k minting. It's worth creating a subject always if the colony is fully expanded. But the mint, I don't think the minting goes to you. You get the profits from the gold mine. But the minting goes to the country that the gold mine is in. Whilst campaigning for the Radical Party in the turmoil-racked southern Serbia, Vasil Ilescu has been attacked and brutally beaten by a group of unknown assailants. Yeah, we'll take this. Get back to the trail. Get back to work. You could buy some colonies from Portugal and France. I could, but I don't really need them, to be honest. I don't need them at the moment. Since I'm here, I've only given good advice. I can give great advice, the best advice. You're still seething because I didn't reinforce you wrong. The police in North Korea roleplay. I think I missed that. Yeah, I didn't see you post a link. Streamlabs. You know, it's the Streamlabs bot. I'm starting to get annoyed with it. I might move to the, what's the other one? The other big one. I have an account with them. I might try that one for the next week's streams. The Radical Party's anti-alcohol policy is hurting their electoral prospects as scours of thirsty voters flock to the Social Democratic Workers' Party, hoping that a change in government will see an end to the country's temperance policies. Where are we at with this stuff? Yeah, I suppose we can afford that. All right. Well, I missed the break at the 2-hour mark. So now I actually do really have to go to the bathroom. So we're going to take a very quick break just so I can go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. And we're back. What'd I miss here? What'd I miss? Oh man, I feel like I missed a lot. By the way, what's with the colony? Well, our only real colony is the one down here. They're doing okay. Giving us gold and minting. Bro doesn't understand minting in relation to nation's current GDP. Like I said, it's only worth making puppet only after passing 100 million GDP, and then questionable because they won't use the correct PMs, and they won't get the techs you get after making them as fast. You can try to get a treaty for the Romanian homeland that Russia has. Russia is definitely not going to give that to us through treaty. I would be thoroughly surprised. See. Yeah, we're at a negative 753. I don't think there's any amount of money transfer that would work with this. Yeah, so the highest we would get is 48. It just won't work. Nor will Austria do that either. They absolutely hate us. So again, it's not always worth it. Like you said, I said it's always worth creating a colonial administration when you fully colonize the states you want. We've always made colonial administrations by 1900s, and they end up going top 10 GDP. I do want to get that Fordlandia achievement at some point where you do have to do that, create the colonial administration, or create a colony with the motor company and then get them in top 10 GDP. So I got to work on that for that achievement. But again, I speak of 1,200 plus hours of gaming experience and 83% achievement completion. And you speak, oh god, you guys. You guys are always chirping at each other here. You make good conversations, but mixed in with the chirps. You could try to get the Romanian homeland from Russia through a treaty with both money and goods. No, there's no amount of money and goods they're going to take for that. It's too much. Bro, the Ottoman border gore. Oh, whew! What happened? Yikes. Oh, Ottomans. Ah, yes. Mutual funds. Excellently. We're going to move to publicly traded. We will do that now. I'm starting to think... So I think Max went your way for all this arguing. Oh, man. No, I think... So here's the thing. I actually want to make a video about this at some point in time, in that... No, I think this is all based on the idea that, unlike most games out there, there really is no right or wrong way to play this game, truly. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of no migration controls by Artur Paraja has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the industrialists. There's no real right or wrong way to play this game. I mean, there's a wrong way to try to achieve certain things. Oh my god. As I'm trying to make a point here, of course, this is when I get a million events pop up. I'd rather take that. The Orthodox Church have formally censored Ulysses Popescu over an unconventional article in a radical party newspaper advocating for disruptive social policies. Yeah. Yeah, there's no right or wrong way to play the game, because there's no winning condition in this game. The fact that there's no winning condition, there's no inherent goal in this game. So people try to talk like the game is about make GDP number go up. And obviously that's a major part of the game, but there's nothing in this game that says this is the goal. You could just as easily make a case that the goal of the game is to make SOL number go up, which sometimes goes against the GDP number that you're trying to do. You could make a case that the game is about conquest, right? There's no winning condition, so there's no right or wrong way to play it. There is a right or wrong, like if you're trying to make GDP go up as much as possible, sure, there might be a right or wrong way to do that. But it just comes down to play style. If what you want is max GDP, then there's a play style to that. And if that's not what you're trying to do, then it's not a advice to make the GDP number go up might go contrary to what you're trying to do. Ultimately, you make the goals in this game. So when people essentially argue about what is the meta, and this is what I said in my videos a couple times, there is no meta in this game. People talk about a meta, there is no meta, because there's no inherent goal. So the points you guys are arguing about, this is why it's an interesting conversation, because some of the points are valid to go certain things. Other points are valid to go in other directions. But none of them are inherently right or wrong. This isn't like playing Civilization where there's like a culture victory or an economic victory. There's no victory in the game. Factories in Bulgaria have been reported to be placing Turkish people into roles with incredibly poor work conditions owing to their status as second-class citizens. Man, I want these petite bourgeoisie to be a little happier. People, let's be civil here. We are not the U.S. politics in 1881. We are not the U.S. politics in 2025. For that matter. Indeed, indeed. It's a worthy goal to just retain your independence in Africa. Yeah, exactly. That's also another worthy goal, because it's incredibly hard to do. become an independent African state and withstand the scramble for Africa is another great goal. 69, nice. Yeah, you guys, could we just tone it down for the both of you? Like, seriously. Now we're starting to, like, name call and stuff, and we need to tone it down. Private correspondence exchanged by members of the Anti-Indian Association have been published in pamphlets. The letters praise India, contrary to the intention of the Orthodox Church. Wait, because you proved him wrong yesterday. Is this like, did you guys have an argument in somebody else's stream that this is carrying into? Because I wasn't streaming yesterday. Yes, we'll take more loyalists. Oh. Actually wasn't looking at the election results. Yeah, the Radical Party. Oh, man. Now that we have more publicly traded companies, we should now focus on what comes next. Yeah, we'll take the tech. Oh, the reactionary movement. Yeah, you don't want no migration controls. Good. It's not a very large revolution. The problem is, okay, what sucks about this is we can definitely take this revolution. They would only have 12 battalions. Problem is, if this went to war... Whoa! Well, something just happened there. Somebody might join on their side. So it is a little worrisome here. Sorry, 2 days ago, not yesterday. The episode 8. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember the chirping in that one, too. 1906 still have child labor. Really, I thought you better than this. You gotta get those kids to work. Yeah, that's true. We might go after that next. Oh, yeah, because we... Romanian Botswana. Yeah, that's a good call. I kind of forgot about that. Alright. So we've taken... Oh, we took this little snippet here. That's horrendous. Upgrading education and getting compulsory education. My first goal every time. I understand why it took him that long. Romanian laws suck. Silly could have. Yeah, I probably should have gone to that sooner. A lot of the run has been bogged down in laws, particularly multiculturalism. We got bogged down in getting multiculturalism for a very long time. I will be honest, I kind of forgot about the children laws. I forgot about the children. So we will address that next. Oh, ironclads. We could use more of that. How are our military shipyards? Not good. Invite a reformer leader for the industrialists. Replace your current one. Instant compulsory education. Yeah. The arrest and alleged ill treatment of a disorderly protester affiliated with the Romanian supremacist movement has sparked resentment among his compatriots. Further demonstrations have been arranged, urging his release. We could get to that benefit there. Yeah, we actually could use that right now. What is the supremacist movement at? Damn. Although I could use a negative 10% activism on them. You mean the episode when I helped us go from negative 550k budget to Sable One? They're arguing that using iron frame, your steel frame, is better than deleting extra construction. Yeah, that was the inciting incident right there. You should buy some parts of colonies from the Cape Colony. Maybe eventually, but at the moment, it's not going to be as beneficial to us. Oops. You know, we need more construction, actually, is what we need. How is... We're incorporated here. Alright, so what we're going to do is... Oh, we're not going to build... What is... coal here? We got tons of coal. We need glass, and we need explosives. I want to start building construction sectors here. Why are they not hiring? So let's build us... let's build some of those. And then we'll build the construction. Surely this border war won't be a conflict in distant future. No, of course not. Never, never. I mean, the episode you confused him with the wrong advice and he deleted half of you guys. Well, at least it's not Frostpunk. Yeah, that's true. At least it's not Frostpunk. At least the children aren't doing what they do in Frostpunk. Yeah, we've got a bit of a radicals problem. What is turmoil now? A little bit better. 36. Better than it was before. 43. I do have multiculturalism, yeah. It took us like 3 episodes, I feel like, to get it, but we're there. All right. Unfortunately, this is going to be late, but I heard it mentioned. How is Frostpunk? I always bounce off those types of games, but I'm still looking. I love it. I love Frostpunk. I love the first one, and I love the second one as well. The second one gets a lot of, I think, unfair criticisms because it's so much different than the first one. But I highly recommend it. Highly recommend both of them. Frostpunk 1 you can get on most Game Passes. I think on Xbox and PlayStation and like the Xbox PC Game Pass, you can get it. And Frostpunk 2 just recently released on console. So you can play it on console or on the computer now. So I highly recommend taking a look at it. Yeah, it's fun. The first one is good if you like Micro. Yeah, if you like Micro, you'll definitely love yourself some Frostpunk. There you go. Yeah, you do. Then definitely take a look at Frostpunk. And if you love having to make moral decisions where all the decisions make you feel like poop, you'll love that game. All right. Unfortunately, we're at the time for this episode. That's all the time I have for this afternoon. However, I will be back on tonight. Oh, were you going to do a Age of Wonders stream? Yes. So we're doing a brand new Age of Wonders 4 stream tomorrow night. My next stream, though, is going to be tonight. We're going to be continuing the Crusader Kings run tonight. So that'll start around 8:15, 8:30, so in about 7 hours from now. And then, yeah, tomorrow is Age of Wonders. And so we'll be continuing this Victoria 3 stream on Tuesday. And I think we very well might complete this stream on Tuesday because we do 2 episodes, one in the morning, one in the evening. So the evening episode might be the conclusion of this one. We will see. But that's going to be it for today. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the lively debates. As maybe a little more civilized next time, but still excellent debates and topics. So thank you, everybody. And hopefully I'll see you tonight for some Crusader Kings 3. Other than that, have a good rest of your evening or day or wherever you are. And as always, be awesome. I'll see you next time.